Well, to say the truth, it seems a little bit more subdued than last year. There seems to be slightly less people for a start than there were. Maybe that's something to do with the films that are on offer this year. They don't seem to be quite as high profile as maybe they have been in previous years. But for a start, the weather is actually a little bit better than it has been in previous years, and so therefore there's no real excuse for it. But atmosphere-wise, it's still ticking over, and a couple of the stars are still showing up, and hopefully it's going to continue through to the weekend when, of course, it finishes on Saturday night.
Speaking of the stars, I hear you've been hobnobbing with the rich and famous.
Well, I suppose Woody Harrelson is probably rich, and of course he is famous. Probably the nicest bloke in the whole of Hollywood, I imagine, as well, because he was certainly very, very chatty yesterday and willing to talk about his new film. Well, should I say he's a narrator of a film called Grass, which is a documentary film about drugs around the world, basically, and the impact that they've on society and the culture of society, and he was really very, very fluent in the press conference yesterday and willing to chat with fans and press alike, and really made himself very popular, yes.
What about the films that are being judged?
Well, there's 19 films in competition. As usual, they come from different parts of the world, from Iran, for a start, from Yugoslavia. Today we have 3 of the films in competition that are due to be promoted. The House of Memories, with the director Aparna Sen, who's due here, and also Kaspar Rostrup as well, from a place nearby to promote that particular film. There are many different categories over here, all competing for their awards in particular categories. The main award, of course, is the, shall we say, Crystal Globe, which this year, in fact, has been redesigned. And I should really, really mention this, because they have a nice little trailer which appears before the films here at Karlovy. And it says in the press bump about it that this year there is a new design for the award. A naked woman with a crystal sphere. A beautiful theme. If only she could move. Well said, I say. I don't quite get the point of it myself, but the trailer certainly raises a few eyebrows, I tell you.
Any tips from the films you've seen so far?
For listeners who want to get extremely depressed, there is an American film called Requiem for a Dream, which was one of the films that I went to yesterday, and it's again about drug abuse. It's about a mother and son relationship, and the son, of course, is a drug user and a drug dealer, and the mother, of course, gets into popping pills and becomes, shall we say, a victim of the other side of drugs. She thinks they're being used to help her out of depression, but in fact they only lead her down an even worse road than she was before. It's not a film to go and see if you're feeling depressed in the first place. It's pretty harrowing, actually, but you come out of it afterwards and think, God, that was a really well-made film. So that's Requiem for a Dream.